Inside SA Soccer with Brad Jakes is powered by Betway.
Welcome to Inside SA Soccer with me, Brad Jakes. It's blast from the past day today, and as usual on this day, on this show, we get in touch with former players who have served the game very well. And I felt this weekend with Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns squaring up in what is going to be a thrill of a match. The two teams are neck and neck in the race for the league championship, and I found a player, a good man really, who used to play for both teams. John Tlale, a top goalkeeper. He was part of Bafana Bafana in 1996, the team that won the Africa Cup of Nations, but a stalwart of South African football. He played for Free State Stars. He played for Bloemfontein Celtic. But I remember him very well when he was at Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, the two clubs he served with distinction. Rajon, good to see you. Good to have you on the show. Welcome to Inside SA Soccer. How are you doing, my brother?
Oh, no, thanks, Mama Bolo, and thanks for inviting me, my brother. I'm well and I'm happy.
Yeah, you look very happy. You look well. What are you up to? I mean, are you still involved in football in some way?
Unfortunately, I'm not involved in football lately, but I'm running my business at home in Velcom. So what's happening? I'm very, very busy on my business. But I think I'll come back as time goes by. Then I think I'll go back. I'll be back in football again.
Yeah. What do you do? What business do you do?
I'm in construction, my brother. I'm renting what do you call it? The plant. TLBs, tipper trucks, excavators, graders, to municipalities. Sometimes I rent it privately.
Okay, no, that's good. It's always good when we see former players doing something, whether it's in football or not. But you are a footballer through and through. You are a goalkeeper. I'm actually sad that you're not involved in football, because the one thing that pains me personally is a lack of goalkeepers in South Africa. I watched the matches last night. Just last night, there were 3 matches being played, and of all those 3 matches, there was only one South African goalkeeper, Bruce Vuma. The rest of the clubs had foreign goalkeepers. When you watch South African football now and you see a lot of these clubs being dominated by goalkeepers from outside, how does that make you feel that we don't have enough goalkeepers in South Africa?
Yeah, Mama Bull, I can tell you that it's really hard, because, in our time, we had so many goalkeepers in Bafana Bafana, even local teams, You talk about Brian Balo, you talk about Simon Khopane, we talk about Nigel Dixon, you name them, But lately we're struggling, talking about Andrea Renze, who used to be a number 1 keeper in Bafana Bafana. So it tells you that development is not taking enough place in our local football, because now most of the team, they go out of the country to buy goalkeepers. So it tells that there's not enough development in our country.
Yeah, but how do we solve that, Brajon? Like I say, you are in the Free State. There are some clubs there. Marumo Gallants have moved there, but they are junior clubs. Why do you think we do not have young goalkeepers coming through?
Yeah, I think it's because of the development. It's not taking enough, to our youngsters, And you look at it, most of the goalkeepers that are being involved in football, they are no longer in football, and tells you, it's a very painful thing to us as former goalkeepers, because most of the goalkeepers that have been playing in the PSL, they are not that much involved in football. So it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah. Is it because you guys don't want to get involved, or is it that the clubs don't involve you? I mean, because sometimes I sit and I'm thinking, a John Tlale can just walk to a Marumo Gallants or any club close by and say, listen, guys, I am John, you know what I've done. How can I help you? Are these people not available? Are they not letting you approach them?
Yeah, Mama Bola, some of the things as a goalkeeper coach, sometimes you get bored, because most of the time you work only for 10 minutes and then you're out watching, the players, you work with the goalkeepers. Most of the coaches, they don't give us that enough time to work with the goalkeepers, So you get bored, because sometimes you work with these young boys and they give you only 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They say, no, you are done, then they take over. So it might not challenge us enough, and sometimes you get bored. You get bored, my
Yeah,
brother.
yeah. No, I
Yeah,
get that. I
consider the
get that.
fact
So
that when you work only for 30 minutes, then you have to put your boots there and watch, when other coaches take over from the goalkeepers.
yeah, so what you are saying is there has to be, as a coach, you must be given the full time with these guys to work
Full
with them
time
so
with
that
the
you feel,
goalkeepers. Yeah. Yes, Mama Bole. I've been working with different teams, and I end up being getting bored because of you work with these boys, and now the coach will tell you that, hey, I give you 30 minutes or 20 minutes to work with the guys, and then after that, what are you doing? You watch, and then sometimes I think it's because of when you're a goalkeeper coach, they don't consider you that much. You're not that involved. They just consider you as a goalkeeper. This one doesn't know anything about football. He was just a goalkeeper, and it ends like that.
yeah, you are saying something that somebody told me. You remember Alex Heredia? I'm sure you worked with him.
Yes, yes, I
Alex
work with
was saying
him. So
exactly this. He was saying exactly the same thing, that the biggest problem here in South Africa is that the main coaches don't really
yeah,
consider coaches,
yeah.
goalkeeper coaches, as a significant part of the team. Because one of the
Obviously,
things he was
yes.
saying is, as a goalkeeper coach, yes, you're going to train a goalkeeper, but you must also be involved with the
Be
defenses to
part
say,
of the team.
this
Yeah,
is be part of the team. So yeah, I think it's a
yeah,
mindset change that needs to
yeah,
happen. Now, looking at,
yeah.
I've said that we don't have enough local goalkeepers, but are there young goalkeepers, South African, that have impressed you so far when you look at the season, when you look in the PSL or even in the junior national teams?
No, not really. Not really, because now we can look at the players that we have. You mentioned maybe about two or three goalkeepers that are playing in the PSL. That even when we go to Bafana Bafana, we're struggling to have regular goalkeepers. Even though China is coming well, is doing very well lately. But I can tell you that when Ronwen is not there, we can see it's a problem. But in our time, we had Andrea Renze, we had Hans Pong, we had Brian Baloy, we had Mark Anderson. You had you mentioned them, Simon Hopani.
Yeah.
We never
Of course.
struggled there when it comes to goalkeepers. Yes, and us when
Yeah.
we were playing for national team, we never had that opportunity to play, my brother. Even if our team won league 3 times in a row, it tells you how much was it. I mean, how tough was it? The competition in the national team,
Yeah.
because
Mm.
you won league with Sundowns three years in a row. But they never had an opportunity to play for Bafana Bafana. I think I had only about 9 caps, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah. And that
So it
talks to the quality, that there was quality, because you were a
obviously,
quality goalkeeper winning the league with your club but still struggling to cut it in the national team.
in the national team. I can make typical example. Jerry Skosana scored a winning goal in 1995. Come 1996, Jerry Skosana was not in the national team. Mambushi Mudau scored, he was the top goal scorer for 3 years, but he was not regular in the national team. It tells you the quality that we have, because we had Mark Williams, we had Philemon Masinga, we had Son Bartlett. So that's quality, my brother. But I can tell you, Mambush was going to work in a team. Jerry Skosana could have worked in the team. John Wade was the captain of Pirates, but he was not regular in Bafana Bafana. I'm talking about 1996. So it tells you how difficult it was by then to be part of the team, or to be number one in Bafana Bafana. So the competition was very, very tough.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
let's talk about the current teams. I've said to you, there's a big match coming up, Mamelodi Sundowns against Orlando Pirates. You've played
yeah,
for both teams.
yeah,
Sundowns have dominated South African football. Even during your time, as you said, you guys won the league title 3 times. This current
yeah.
group has just done incredibly. They are going for title number 8.
Yes.
When you look at this season, it looks like Pirates are going to challenge them. There's serious competition. What have you made of the season so far for the two teams?
Yeah, very tough one, Mama Bolo. Why am I saying that? The consistency that Pirates have now, we can see they win most of their games. Ne? But there's a bit of a concern regarding the team that they play, because most of the time they only use one squad. You look at them, but I think they have depth now, because I saw that the defender, the captain, is back, and this guy, the central defender from outside, is a good player. What's his name? The foreigner.
Olisanda,
So
Olisanda, mm.
And some other players that they have. But I think if the coach can rest some of the players, because if you look at the team that is being played, they use one team, and the other thing is this thing of that young boy who want to leave Paris, but he's selling. I think the depth is gonna challenge them, consider the number of players that they have in their team. That's the only challenge
So
they have. But so far so good. They're doing very well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
it's
come
a
second
lot
round,
of
I
people.
think they'll be tired. The body will be exhausted.
Okay, because a lot of people were saying that when the Champions League started, a lot of people felt Pirates might struggle, but they got into the
Yeah,
Champions League group stage. They were the best performing of all the eight that's in the quarterfinal. Are you
yeah.
saying that as time goes on, fatigue will catch up with them?
Yes, I think so. Regarding the fact that most of the time they don't change their squad that much. They stay with one team that has been playing. They'll change one or two, which I know that is a good thing for the coach because he wants results. But at some point, they need to rest some of the players for the sake of the regeneration. Because come second round, it's going to be difficult for Orlando Pirates. I want to be honest with you when it comes to the league.
Yeah. Okay. And then
Yeah.
Sundowns, we've seen Sundowns. I mean, the change in coaching. What did you make of that? Were you surprised when Sundowns got rid of Mangoba and brought in this Miguel Cardozo guy?
Yes, I was surprised, my brother. I don't think Mangoba got enough chance, to work with the team. But I think he was starting scoring goals, started winning games. But I think the problem was not the results. I think the problem was the dressing room, because look at some of the senior players, they went against him, and I think it becomes a problem. I think that's what make the management of Sundowns make decision, against him.
Yeah. I mean, and then the new coach, what do you make of him, this Miguel Cardozo? Have you been impressed by him? Do you see him doing positive things for Sundowns? I mean, he came from Esperance. Remember, he was the one who beat Sundowns in the Champions League last season. From watching it from a distance and the matches he's played so far, what do you think of him?
I can't say I'm really impressed, but he's still new in the team, maybe still learning some of the players, no? He still wanted to know some of the players. But according to me, I'm getting a bit worried because of we can see now the team is changing. Let's be honest, I've got nothing against the foreigners, but you can see the way the team is changing. It changed the system that Sundowns, the how can I put it? That Sundowns used to, the style of play that we know from Sundowns, So it becomes a challenge because of the way they play. We can see it change everything. It's not the same Sundowns that we know, even if sometimes they win. But I'm a bit concerned going forward whether they'll be able to handle that pressure and the way they approach the games.
Yeah. Now there are play as I said, there's
Yeah.
this big match on Saturday against Pirates. Pirates and Sundowns matches are always, high octane, this competition and all that. What do you expect from the two teams at the weekend?
Very difficult to predict regarding the fact that Pirates are on top of their game. Sundowns dropped a bit. We can see sometimes their players become casual. Some of the game you can ask yourself what's going on in the team, and sometimes they're not playing well. But I think they'll go to this game motivated, especially after scoring 4 goals. And I think they'll take it from their last result, going to Pirates game. But it's going to be a different ball game as you see because of why I'm saying that Pirates approach won't be the same like Golden Arrows, approach.
Yeah, yeah. Are there, I mean, you've played in this match. You've played for
Yeah.
Pirates against Sundowns. You've played for Sundowns against Pirates. Are there some memories from this match that you have that are very special? Maybe let's start when you played for Sundowns. Is there any match that you remember that you played against Pirates when you were at Sundowns?
Yeah. I can talk about the Rothman semi-final when we beat Pirates in Odi Stadium. It was a very difficult game because we drew with Pirates in the FNB Stadium 2-2. Then we went to Odi Stadium and we drew 0-0. That was the most difficult game that I played against Pirates because James Kozana gave us a hard time, and Joseph Mungake. It was a very difficult game that I ended up being man of the match. And then other game that I remember it was final of Bob Say final where we beat Pirates on penalties, where I saved the Steve Quelia penalty, which was a decider. Had Steve go score that penalty, Pirates would have walk away with the trophy. But fortunately, I managed to stop that penalty, and then we end up lifting up the trophy.
Yeah, I mean it's a strange thing. I mean, it's Sundowns and Pirates are not as big rivals as Chiefs and Pirates, but
And
to move from playing for Sundowns and then you then play for Pirates, how was that? I mean, when you look back, how did that move come about, or you end up being at Pirates?
I think by the time I left Sundowns, it was a contractual, challenge because when I was with Sundowns, they wanted to pay me the same salary that I was getting for the past 2 years, and I ended up making up my mind saying that, I better move somewhere else because I was not going to be happy, playing in the team where I was regular, but my salary was still the same for the past two, and I was going to the third year with the same salary. Then I told myself that, what, I have to move on, where I'll be happy and face a new challenge because maybe my stay I overstayed at Sundowns because I was there for almost 8 years.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Pirates, why the choice of Pirates? How did that happen?
In fact, I went to first division, joined Spartak, PCCB as team, but then immediately after joining Spartak, and that's when the Mr. Koza, wanted me to come and join Pirates, because I was very close to the late daughter, his daughter, and then she came to me and phoned me and she wanted to talk to me because I wanted to go and join Umtata Bucks because by then I was already talking to Stur Basia, but now and fortunately, Pirates approached me and I was staying in Joburg. So I decided, you know what, why not? Pirates, the big team. Let me finish with a high note. And fortunately, managed to win the league in that year when I joined them.
Yeah. How was that experience? I mean, you've won leagues with Sundowns. You go to Pirates, who hadn't really been doing a lot of those, not winning a lot of leagues, and you get in your first season, you win the championship.
No, it was great. It was great, my brother. It was great for the fact that, joining a new team, you play about 11 games and you concede one or two goals. I don't remember well, but I consider a less goal, about few goals. So it was very good because playing with the youngsters that are running non-stop. I had John Mabizar in front of me. I had like Ilokwati, I had Papi Homan, the late Papi Homan. May his soul rest in peace, I had Abed Nigo Nesode. You mentioned them, and it was a good thing. Albertina, you mentioned them, the late Leslie Manyatela. That was a good team, to play with. The late Gift Remy. That was one of the best teams that I played with because the boys were all over the pitch. They could run non-stop. So for me, it was an advantage, bringing that experience that I got from PSL, from Mamelodi Sundowns and Free State Stars. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you've just like sent me nostalgic. I remember that Pirates team. I mean, it's like you say, lots of young talent and the defense. I
Yeah,
mean, to play, I still think old John Mabizela is the best central defender we've ever had,
yeah.
and
He was
we've
one of the
had him.
best,
And
my
you
brother.
played with him when he was that young.
Yes.
You at Sundowns, you also played with a good team. When you look, how do you compare? I mean, the teams that you played with at Sundowns and the ones at Pirates, how do they compare? I mean, if somebody was to say which was the best team you played with, what would you say?
I think Sundowns was the best in terms of my maturity. Most of the players that I play with, they are older, they are more matured, in terms of the responsibilities that they have. Because if we look at the team, when we lose the game, a player like Roger Fedumba will get upset because he'll always say his teammates that, hey, my brother, if we kill my bonus, I won't
I
be able to
remember.
talk to the whole week. You look at the players that I heard about Mambush Mudau, Rafael Chuku, at the back, Michael Manzini, you talk about the late Lupima Pulejo, you talk about the late, Matthew Booth, and they were old, but they were more matured in terms of approaching the game because they wanted to win everything. If I look at the time we won the league at Sundowns, most of the games that we play, first league that we won, I considered 14 goals. Second league, I considered 15 goals. Third league, I considered 16 goals. So it tells you the consistency that we had and the understanding and maturity amongst ourselves, But at Orlando
Yeah, yeah.
Pirates, they were young boys. They were very young and excited, wanted to prove a point. But the difference amongst themselves, is all about the maturity. Sundowns had mature players. This ones, they were youngsters who are full of energy, who wanted to make names for themselves. But they were also doing well. Hence, they were not winning trophies except the league that we won when I was there.
Yeah, but for you, it must have been also exciting to be passing on your experience to these young players at
Yeah,
Pirates,
yeah,
surely.
yeah. Yeah, no, it was a very good experience because I came there and then they respected me. They gave all the respect that I deserve, and they were more supportive. I felt welcome. I was like at home. The only difference that, like I said, at Sundowns, I stayed there for a long time. But Pirates, I was new. But at the end of the day, I was enjoying myself, and then winning the league when I was with Pirates was more different than when I was with Sundowns because of the support that Pirates had. The chairman, Mr. Ivan Koza, when he win league, he was more happy than when he win trophies. He's the chairman
Yeah.
that likes to win the league at all cost.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's
Yeah.
he's he's somebody that everybody talks about in South African football. I mean, that he's the chairman. He's been running
Yes.
just not only Orlando Pirates but the league itself. How was it
Itself. Yeah.
to have him as a chairman? I mean, we see him from a distance. Sometimes people say, "Oh, he's tough" and all that. But how was it to work for him?
No, I think for me, I felt at home. He liked me when I joined Pirates because he knew that one thing that I was very close to his daughter, Zodwa. He used to be friends with Zodwa, with the late Zodwa. But even when I was in Prestige Stars, Zodwa used to tell me that when you'll never retire before you play for Orlando Pirates. I'll make a point that before you retire, you'll play for Orlando Pirates. So it was easy for me to communicate with him because when I arrived at Pirates, he told me straight, John, yeah, now you are in a big team. And immediately after joining
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates, I went to Spain with the national team just to train in there, just to get my fitness because I was out of the game for such a long time, before playing for PSL teams again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you
Yeah,
you you know you like I say, you've played for the chairman. You've played for. I mean,
yeah,
your career was blossomed when you played for the late Ntate Mokoena. You
yeah,
played at Sundowns for Bu Natasha and Bu Angelo. Um,
yeah.
at Celtic, was it also under Ntate Molemela?
Yes, it was under Temulemela.
Yeah. Now,
Yes.
just share with me. We like I say, this men and women who run clubs. We see them from a distance. Sometimes you hear stories about them. How do you look at them? I mean, your time, especially at Free State Stars. I mean, that's where a lot of us got to know you from. Working with Ntate Mokoena, the late Ntate Mokoena. Just how
Yes.
was it? Because I look at the current clubs, they are owned by a lot of tenderpreneurs, really, people who come in because they are businessmen, they buy clubs. But these are men and women who have always been in football all their lives. I mean, how was it just working with all those different chairmen and women?
No, I enjoyed myself. I want to be honest with you. Even though the atmosphere will be different because you work with the women, it's not the same like the men. But working with Celtics, it was very good. I enjoyed myself until I hurt myself. I had operation on my left shoulder, and I was dislocated. Then I had to leave. Coming back home, start afresh, and stayed home for almost 3 years before Free State Stars come and and ask me to train with them because when I was with Bloemfontein Celtics, the late Gert Vermeulen, Themba Sithole, and Sipho Kuze, they knew me from Celtics. But Themba and the late Gert Vermeulen, I played with them at Celtics before I got hurt, because the last 2 games that I played at Celtics, I was that shoulder injury. I used to play, but I'll be dislocating my shoulder, left shoulder. But I'll finish the game with that shoulder. And then when they saw me, because I was supposed to join Ratana Maholusian in Kwakwa, when the late Gert Vermeulen and Themba Sithole heard that I'm in Kwakwa and I wanted to join Ratana Maholusian, they went to Bramike and told Bramike, you know what, there's this guy, he's a good keeper. Can you please try to talk to him? We'll convince him to come and join Free State Stars. And then I went to Free State Stars and I stayed with Sipho Kuze, who accommodated me well. And that's when I gained confidence because they welcomed me with with both hands. Steve Compella, Saramele Tswaka, you mentioned them, David
Yeah,
Blakasi, Magic Salomon, the late Professor Maputi. When I came there, on the first day, they told me that, hey, Mona, you are the good goalkeeper.
yeah.
So that's how I made name for myself at Free State Stars.
Yeah. No, you played, I mean, overall, I mean, you've just mentioned some fascinating names, big names of South African football. I mean, you played, as you say, you played with Bubra Steve, Buntat Busara Meletswaka. I
Yeah.
mean, the to have those guys in front of you as a goalkeeper must have been so reassuring to play with such
Yeah.
solid guys.
Yeah, because when you come to the team when you are new, especially when you haven't played for some time, they make me feel at home. For the fact that especially when you play first game, you become nervous, anxiety is there. But I think because of Steve, he was loud, he was a captain of the team. You'll always make sure that you communicated with me all the time. When the ball is in our opposite side, you'll always remind me, hey, Mona, wake up. Always, keep me alert. You talk about Temba
Yeah, yeah,
Sitole. They always make sure that even Saramelo Swaga, they were supportive, my brother. And that's when I became a good keeper when I came to Free State Stars. They make me to believe in myself. And that's why I think I started making my name for themselves. And I think I played my best game when I was with Free State Stars.
yeah. Now, when you've retired now, you don't play. When you look back at your career, are you happy? Are you content that you played the best football of your life? Have you achieved everything that you set out to do, or are there little things where you have some regrets to say, maybe there I could have done better?
Yeah, I think especially for Bafana Bafana, when we play Four Nations Cup, after Arenze took over after Steve Crowley, yeah, and I think had I got the opportunity there, I was gonna do well because of my confidence was very high, especially after winning the trophy with Free State Stars, Coca-Cola Cup, and
Yeah.
went to the final. Of Bob Safe when he lost 1-0 to Val Professional. I think my
Yes.
confidence was very high, and I thought because of where I come from, I didn't concede so many goals, and it was very difficult to play in Kwakwa, where the weather is very cold, where the ground was bumpy. But going to the national team, anxiety was there, and I thought maybe I would get an opportunity. But when you realize that, hey, the opportunity is not easy to get, you end up being, lose yourself a bit, because of, let's be honest, Arenze was doing very well and you did very well, especially in the Four Nations Cup and African Nations
Yeah.
Cup, because you are not conceding goals. So if
Yeah.
it's not broken, but you can't change it, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you have
yeah,
that you have that winners medal from 1996. You
yeah,
didn't play any
yes,
matches there. When you look at it, how do you feel about it? I mean, you're part of the squad. You got the medal. How do you feel
yeah.
having that medal but not having played?
It was mixed emotions, my brother. It was mixed emotions. I was happy for the fact that the team have won. You have won as a team, because the team sport at the end of the day. And, for goalkeepers, it's not easy to replace a goalkeeper, especially when he's doing
Mm.
well. But the fact that there was a time when Arenze got injured and I was on the bench, I started warming up and I saw it coming. I said, here's my opportunity. I'll have to grab it with both hands. And then, he stood up when he heard the crowd, behind me when I started warming up. And he went back again and played with that knee
Yeah.
injury. I was a bit
Yeah.
disappointed, but at the same time, can't be jealous if somebody's doing well. And I was a bit disappointed, but at the same time, he was doing well. We had to support the team if the team is doing well. And it's part of the game, my brother, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
So
you
the day I had mixed feelings. I was happy at the same time for the team, but I was a bit disappointed for the fact that I never had that opportunity.
Yeah. I mean,
Taking me up.
we speak of the clubs you played for. Bloemfontein Celtic are no longer existing. Free State Stars are no longer existing. How does that make you feel, especially because you're out in the Free State and you guys don't have, the clubs that were big there? I mean, Kwakwa, Bramike did an amazing job with Free State Stars. The fact that these two clubs don't exist anymore, how do you feel about that?
I feel so bad, my brother. It really hurts. It hurts for the fact that these are teams that make us to be what we are today. And the owners, those people that were there, that struggle with the team, that those team that did make that team to be where it was. Everybody knows about Free State Stars. Everybody knows about Bloemfontein Celtics. It makes me feel bad for the fact that now it shows that in Free State that the support is not enough. Because even before Mike passed away, I met with him, in Bethlehem, and he was telling me that, John, I'm still struggling even now because of I don't get sponsors very easy, So I always have to maneuver to see how can I run my team. So it tells you, the support is not enough. It's not enough, especially from our government. They have to support our main people, especially that develop players that that a great job. I mean it's a job creation. Once players that's playing there are people that are selling food there. There are people that security. It tells you that, but now there's nothing there, and it makes when you go there, it's dry. You go to Bloemfontein, people are sitting there. There's something that entertain them anymore. So it's a problem, my brother.
Yeah, no, it is a painful thing. Now, lastly, we spoke about this match that's coming up. Who's going to win on Saturday?
Ish, what a difficult one. Very difficult one to predict. But in this one, if I have to put my money, I'll say Sundowns.
Okay, why is that?
I'll say you look at the games, most of the game, they don't concede goals. They're scoring goals, and I think they want to open the gap now, because they know one thing, that if Pirates win, they will be under pressure. Even though for Pirates it becomes more pressure because they have to win. For them, it's a must win, But sometimes if they can go with a draw, it will be good for them, because the gap will still be the same. So pressure is more on Pirates than Sundowns. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, are we, as we said, Brother John, South Africa needs new goalkeepers, and people like you have shown you have what it is. Please find a way to come back to football and coach, even if you train youngsters there in Velcom, just so that there's hope for our football. Because, as you say, we have Ronwen Williams, but below him, there really is nothing coming through.
Yeah, very difficult. Yeah, but I'll be back in football. Hence, I've been talking to different people. They want me back in football. But truly speaking, I want to have my own development at home. Even if it happened that I have a team, I'll maybe try to have a team in first division. I'm still working on that. I always go to my municipality trying to talk to them, to be able to assist me, because having a football team, but it's not easy. It's very expensive and it demands a lot. So I think if I can get support from my municipality, in Free State, I'll be able to have the own team. Because if you look at here in Belcom, there's nothing that is happening, my brother. Come weekends, there's nothing, So it tells you that you need a team in Free State. But I think we are working on something. Very soon, something will come up.
No, that's good. Do you have coaches? Have you done your coaching badges?
Yeah, but those times when we have level 1, I had suffered a goalkeeper coach. I was supposed to have a level 2, and I have FIFA certificate goalkeeper coach. I only have level 1 and a goalkeeper coach, SAFA and FIFA certificate that I have so far.
Okay,
Yeah.
work on those and come back and coach these youngsters. But John, thank you so much for making time for me and us here on Inside SA Soccer. It's very good to see you, and all the best. We really want you back in South African football.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate, my brother. Thanks for inviting me. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
we'll see you soon,
brother.
I'm sure. When I'm in Velcom, I'll come see you. Thank you so
much. Thank you very much, my brother. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's good to see you. We must keep in touch. Let's not lose contact. Let's keep talking.
No, I have your number. We'll keep in touch, my brother. Thanks, my man.
Okay.
Thanks, my brother.
Sharp.
Thank you. Bye.
Inside SA Soccer with Brad Jakes is brought to you by Betway.